let's switch this on. I've changed to the spindle gouge. We're going to make some cuts down here first. Nice slicing cuts, small, delicate cuts. Turn the tool over. Make those cuts. Get the bevel rubbing there. Pick the cut up with the tip of the tool. Just going to fold that in nicely. Wants to be a smaller diameter. And it needs tucking in right here. There we go. So what I'm looking at is the curve there. 50, 50. That curve is reflected by that one. That'll sand up nice. What we're going to do is we're going to sand it up now. Tell you what, let's just get rid of this. Don't want that line. We're going to sand it up now while we've got a little bit of strength there, because when we start to cut the stem, it's going to want to flop, it's going to want to move. We've got a little bit of strength here to lightly sand that up. There's not a bad finish from the tool, no tear out. So I'm going to sand it up, wet sand it, same as last time, sand it up, and we'll come back to when I'm putting the oil on and we'll see what the grain's like. Then we'll finish off the foot, okay? Excellent, see you in a minute. Let's get this oiled up. Put that on there. Wow, that is absolutely beautiful. Again, the oil's soaking in, so we're gonna soak that. There we go, absolutely beautiful. Right, so again, we can re-oil this at any stage. I just gave the inside another coat of oil, and that'll be fine. The inside will come through. The oil on the inside will penetrate through. All that, the whole thing should be soaked in oil then. Brilliant. Again, it's thin enough, the oil's coming through. We're going to work, I'm just going to set the tool rest up, and we're going to work on the foot and sand it, finish it. We probably won't have to sand the wet sand the foot. We can probably just go straight in and sand it. Maybe it'll get a good finish from the tool. Reshape it, shape the very bottom of the foot. It wants to be slightly radiused on the edge there, not left square, and then we'll part it off and saw the rest of it off. We're going to go take so far, then we're going to cut the rest of it off, okay? Okay, so back to the foot. Turn the speed on, speed up slightly. Play it on, speed up. That should be fine. So that's just a touch high. Just going to ease it down to there. There we go. Again, it just felt wrong. Muscle memory. I want a small detail under there, then a scoop out, and the foot's just going to flow nicely up that way. If you had the foot going this way, it looks wrong. It closes it down. You want the foot kind of flowing up, the curve flowing up and presenting the vase itself. Okay, put that down here. Again, just using the bowl gouge for as long as I need to. Nice, we're looking for a nice sweep up there. Let's reduce this diameter a little bit. Visually, that'll help us with proportion. Nice big cuts actually for such a small gouge. With a lot of control. And get rid of a lot of this, we don't need it. That's where the foot's going to be, down there somewhere. Okay, that curve's just, it needs to come in a little bit and sweep up. Let's move to the spindle gouge. A little detail here, we're going to do a cut, nice fine cut right into there. Wings are cut back and get right into that corner. This is just like cutting a coal. Just looking at the proportion of that. Needs to be a little finer, that's better. Let's just blend this in. Nearly. Another cut. Come back. There we go. Just cutting with the tip of the tool. Blend that in nicely there. And just finish that little curve off. One way to the other. There we go, that looks nice. So, let's see the diameter of the foot. Generally, if the piece is taller than it is wider, I make the foot, I divide from there to there into thirds, and where the bottom third crosses over, I just transpose that line, and that gives me the diameter of the foot. That's not far off. I've done enough of these to know. If the piece is wider that way than it is taller, I split the opening into thirds, and it's the opening, that the third of the opening, that becomes that. So that becomes a third of the opening if it's wider than it is taller. So that's not far off. If I was to eyeball it, yeah, it's about there. Bring it over. Not far at all. Parting tool. Just a nice cut across there. And we're going to start to undercut this. We don't want to leave a nice solid foot. We need to make some cuts under here, and we need to part off into the foot. Again, we're not going to part it off, take it so far. I've lost too many of these trying to risk parting it off and catching it. We're going to take it so far. This is a beautiful piece of wood. It's a nice shape. Everything's right about it. So it's a percentage thing. You can do the old hero thing, catch it if you want. If you spoilt that, you'd be really fed up. After all that work. Open this cut up a little bit. I'm only going to take this so far, then we're going to sand this. The other thing is, I don't like this edge here. That square edge doesn't look right. We've got nice flowing curves everywhere, apart from maybe a little fillet there. This edge should be radius. So, all that's waste wood, so it doesn't really matter. Overhang, I can feel it grabbing a little bit. Let's take a smaller cut. We'll adjust the tool rest in a minute. I'm being lazy. Okay, that's fine. Spindle gouge, right on its edge, using the bottom wing, closed right down, flute, round about 9 o'clock, just slightly open. Put a nice little radius on that edge. That looks far better, softer. We can just blend that in. It looks far nicer than those two square edges. So let's stop that and have a look. Okay, ideal. See, the heart is there and there. It came right away from where the center stem is. It's not going to, so that's a good strong stem now. Heart's out the way. So if you can get your piece of wood mounted so that the heart's going to be out the way of center. Okay, I'm going to stand that up, oil it. We're going to part off so far. We'll come back to that. Then I'm going to get a Japanese saw and we're going to cut it off. I would rather carve and grind and sand that away than risk parting it off and spoiling the whole thing. For what? The sake of a cut, a little bit of sanding or a little bit of carving or grinding? It would be a shame to lose that. Okay, so join in just a minute.